Hey guys, it's Kayleigh. In today's video, I will be showing you how to do this full coverage, colorful makeup look that is perfect for spring. This is for those of you who like to wear darker colors. I am also going to be showing you how to do this Mermaid side braid updo hair tutorial at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So to get started with this makeup tutorial, you first want to prime your eyes with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and then I'm going in with all of these custom eyeshadows here that I put together in this little palette full of Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I put them all together before filming this video of, shadows that I think would look really good together. I wanted to pick out more like earthy tones, so I'm starting with this matte gray. It is called Bedrock from Makeup Geek, and with a blending brush, I am working most of this directly into that crease area and then blending it upwards to really soften the eyeshadow out. And I'm blending this pretty far up close to my brows. Once you're finished with that, then you can go in with this lid shade here. This is a crazy pigmented color. It is called DragonFly from Makeup Geek. So with a flat shader brush, just press this teal matte eyeshadow into the center of the lids and then start working it into the inner and outer corners. You want to keep this focused on the lid though. Don't work this into the crease. And then when you are done, go ahead and blend the edges through so that everything blends in nicely together. Secret Garden. It is also from Makeup Geek. It's more on the bluer side, which is why I wanted that teal underneath to kind of give it a different effect. Like the eyeshadow in itself is already really beautiful, but I feel like this truly makes the eyeshadow look super 3D in person and on camera. So I applied that to the lid, starting again in the center and then working my way to the inner and outer corners. Once again, just go ahead and take your blending brush through and blend out the edges. And then I'm going to start focusing really heavily on that outer corner area, just darkening things up, creating more dimension, making it look more smoky. So I am mixing these two shades here. It is a darker brown called Mocha from Makeup Geek, and then kind of a reddish dark brown Americano. So mixing those two shades together and working that into the outer corner and slightly into the crease. And then I'm blending that through with that same blending brush that we have been working with. So I'm darkening it just a little bit more with this darker matte green eyeshadow called Enchanted Forest. With a pencil brush, I'm just working that basically right over top of the other shadows, keeping in mind that I am going to be doing a black winged liner, so I'm just slightly bringing it a little bit further up, but not nearly as far into the crease as those other two shadows that we had used before. So once you're done blending that out, you can work in the inner corner eyeshadow, which is Charmed. It's a foiled eyeshadow. It's sort of like a silvery greenish kind of eyeshadow. It's really pretty, so I decided to put that in the inner corner for a nice lighter touch to the look. And I am now doing my black eyeliner. It is from Catrice Cosmetics, and this is called Glam and Doll. It's a super black liner. I find that this is a really good one from the drugstore because it actually does pretty well over top of a bunch of eyeshadows, like layered eyeshadows or glitter eyeshadows. It still works great. So I did a liner all the way from the inner to outer corners, making sure to wing this out pretty far. I wanted this to be a dramatic, colorful look. And then I popped on my eyelashes that are from Kiss. They're the Couture lashes in Gala. And to blend my natural lashes in with the falsies, I just put a little bit of Maybelline Colossal Big Shot and just ran that through to blend everything in. So moving on to the face now, I'm using this serum from e.l.f. I really like this. It is super cheap and it feels great on the skin. It's just to really moisturize and prep my skin. And as a primer, I'm going in with this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer all over. Make sure definitely that you get this everywhere so your foundation looks even. Bourjois Radiance Reveal Healthy Mix N52 Vanilla. I'm using it as a BB cream to just give my face some hydration, a little bit of coverage. And as my main foundation, I'm using these custom cover drops from CoverFX, and this is an N30. So I'm taking a e.l.f. blending sponge and really making sure to pat this in all over. this is what's going to give you that full coverage effect. I like to use the Bourjois Healthy Mix underneath, so that way my skin doesn't feel dry, but I can still get that really nice effect of, you know, full coverage, not having to worry about anything showing through my foundation. It's also very long lasting as well. As my concealer, I used Maybelline, this is the Fit Me Concealer in 10 Light, under the eyes, down the bridge of the nose, center of the forehead, chin, and Cupid's bow. Patted that in with the e.l.f. blending sponge, and as my contouring shade today, what I decided to do was go in with this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. It's a full coverage, anti-aging, waterproof concealer, but it is in the shade Deep, and that's why I wanted to use it, because it does a great job of contouring out the face. So I put this mainly on the outer corners of the face, and I actually worked this out with a really fluffy brush here. I love the way that this looks. I feel like it has good coverage to it, obviously, because it's a concealer, so if you do need that extra coverage, it's going to be great for you. But it also just really darkens the outer corner of the face in a natural way, which I love. I don't like that look where it's like harsh lines. I basically like it to look very smooth, a nice soft finish. As my highlighter, I'm going in with this for the very first time. It is the Vintage by Jessica Liebeskind. It's an illuminating face highlighter set. I'm using the one that's in chocolate diamond on the high points of my face. Bareminerals Mineral Veil to set that concealer. And as my blush slash bronzing shade today, I'm going in with the Hoola Benefit bronzer, and then just blending that out, but mainly focusing it on the outer corners of my cheekbones and a little bit on the nose too. Okay, so I'm in love with this stuff right now. This is from Ofra Cosmetics. It's called the Semi-Permanent Waterproof Eyebrow Gel. I have mine in dark brown. I just take a eyeliner brush, one that's very thin. I work this on the bottom edges of the eyebrow, and then I just slowly start to bring this upwards and draw out that like outer corner of the eyebrow with whatever's left on my brush. But I've been really liking this look lately. I find that with this gel I can perfectly shape out my eyebrows, and I love the color of this too. It's not too dark, and I think it matches really well with this makeup look and also with my hair, so in love with that. As for the lower lash line, I just blended those two brown shades together, put that on the outer corner, used my finger to blend that out. Went in with that teal shade and then the shimmery shade in the inner corners. And again, I went through with the Charmed Foiled Eyeshadow as the highlight, and a little bit of Enchanted Forest, that green, brought that through the lower lash line as well. Just, I don't know, I just really wanted to use that green again. Finished off with some Colossal Big Shot mascara on the lower lashes. I wanted to do something brown. I used the Buxom Undercover Pump Line Lip Liner first, all over the lips. I lined them, the outer corners, and then filled the whole thing in, upper and lower lip, and then I went through with the Ofra Cosmetics Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in Brooklyn. But that is it for this finished look. I really love it. I think it's different, especially considering all the looks I've done on my channel. It's totally, out of the box. It's unexpected, and I really like how unique it looks. So I decided to also go with a really unique hairstyle to match this look. I am going to show you guys how to do this Mermaid side braid updo. So the first thing you want to do is tease that crown section of hair. I'm using a Denman D3 brush. It's really nice for teasing and then for brushing the tease out. So I'm pulling back that crown section of hair now, tugging at the hairs just to kind of give a little bit more volume there, twisting it in the back, and then pinning with bobby pins, just crossing them over to hold that in place. Sectioning out my bangs, and then with that very top section of hair that we still have left out, you want to do a very tight, regular braid. So keep this more on the smaller side, braid this all the way down, and then secure it with an elastic. If you want to, you can go ahead and use your fingers to pull this apart, make it just a little bit bigger if it happens to be really small like mine is, but I just like to keep it basically on the smaller side. It's a nice contrast between the bigger braid that we're about to do. So pull that back, make sure it's in line really nicely with that crown section, pin it in the back, and then take a bigger section of hair underneath of that smaller braid and start braiding that regular braid again, but keep this on the looser side as you're braiding all the way down because we're going to be pulling this out quite a bit compared to the other braid. Secure it with an elastic. And for this, like pulling out wise, what I like to do is actually hold the ends of the braid and then tug from like the bottom of one side all the way up to the top of that side, and then I work on that other side, and then I work on the two sides together going from the top all the way down. So that's just what I like to do to get the maximum amount of volume in my braid. So that's what it looks like. You just want to go ahead and pull it back and just make sure it's sitting very nicely back there, and give it a little pin so it stays in place. Really only one pin is all you need. And then I like to use a mirror just to make sure that the bobby pins that are there aren't like totally visible. I'll need to adjust some of those if they are. Okay, as for the other side of the head, you want to again section out a piece of bangs and then slowly start to twist your hair back. And as you're twisting, add a little bit of hair into the twist. And just basically keep doing that till you get to the middle of the back of your head. Give your twist a little tug for some more volume and pin it in place right over those other two braids that we had just created. Now you want to bring all of your hair over to one side, and we are going to do something kind of weird with this, okay? So basically you take two sections from the outer corners of your hair and tie an elastic around them, create an opening, and bring the ends up through that opening and down, give it a little pull, and then you can adjust, that piece there however you like. Again, take two sections from the outer corners, tie it with an elastic, make a little opening, pull the ends through, tug it, and then you can adjust the hairs. So I did this one last time just because that's as much hair as I had, but you guys can do it as many times for as much hair as you have. So I just did it that third time right there. Tied it with an elastic, made an opening, pulled the hair through, tugged it, and now I'm just adjusting like crazy all over to basically make this braid. It kind of ended up looking like a fishtail braid. We're just gonna call it a braid. I basically just kept pulling to make sure that the braid was pretty even all the way down from the top to the bottom. And if you happen to have any hairs that are falling out, like any shorter hairs, you just pin them into the braid and then adjust the braid so that you can't see that bobby pin, but it should stay in place. I went ahead and covered that elastic at the very bottom with a piece of hair, so I just took a little piece, wrapped it around that elastic, and then pinned it in the back so that way you can't see the pin, and the pin just it'll lay flat on you so no one will ever see it. As for the bangs, I curled them with my curling wand from Numi. I just like to usually section my bangs out into two different sections and then just run my fingers through them to get a nice like looser curl effect with my bangs. And that is it for the completed look, guys. My romper, by the way, is from Forever 21, but it is like years and years old. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe and also click that bell for notifications on when I upload. Make sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you guys are going to try this out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!